The world of adjustable golf clubs has just got a whole lot more interesting, and I personally think this could save you a load more shots than say an adjustable lofted driver, than say an adjustable CG driver that can move MOI, that can help you potentially hit straighter golf shots or even longer drives. I think this golf club could potentially revolutionise the entire game of golf and generally help you get closer to the hole, thus lowering your scores. Check this out. Oh, hi everyone, my name is James Robinson, welcome back to the channel. Guys, make sure you do subscribe if you want golf related videos every single day. Now, this is a golf club which has landed on my doorstep, and when I saw it, I couldn't quite believe it. You see, this is an adjustable sole plated wedge from VEGA. This is called the Alcor Tour Wedge, and you can see here I have a 60-degree wedge in a mid bounce. So a mid bounce for me is a perfect wedge. Guys, please wait, do not go anywhere. I know sometimes wedges can be seen as not quite sexy, as not quite as fun as hitting a driver a long way, but what comes in this little pouch is something that could potentially transform, I have dropped the key, oh dear. That could potentially transform your game. You see, this isn't just for club fitters. Guys, if you go and play lots of different courses around the world or around the country or even around your town, having the option of having a low bounce wedge, a high bounce wedge or a mid bounce wedge, as I've got here, could really help you hit the ball closer with all your wedges, hole more putts and lower your scores. Is that another one that's going to be close? Now, I haven't used this in gameplay scenarios yet. I have been in the Golf Sun simulator testing the different bounces to see if we can get some different shots, some different spin rates and more consistent distances. So stay tuned if you want to see that. But I've got it set currently in the mid bounce setting. I really like the versatility that gives me to play all that could go in. To play all these different shots. I'm going to show you when you might change this to a high bounce, to a low bounce, why you might not want to change it from a mid bounce, because I think standalone this could be one of the best wedges I've ever seen. I suppose when you strike it like that you're always going to like it, aren't you? But I honestly think this could revolutionise how we see the short game as a whole, and how, oh look at this one, watch this spin. It could revolutionise as a whole just how we look at scoring clubs and the potential of wasting your money, should I say, on the latest and greatest driver. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that's some pretty good birdie opportunities on this opening hole using this VEGA wedge. Now, the first thing you might say is, James, bounce isn't that important with my short game. Bounce plays no real role in how I score, and bounce really isn't that important to me. And my answer to that would be that is an absolutely ridiculous thing to say, because bounce on the wedge is the only part of the club that makes contact with the ground, hopefully. I mean, if you're doing it like this, then generally you're doing something quite wrong. And then once we've had that argument and I've explained just how important bounce is on a wedge from the fairway, out of the rough, and of course out of bunkers, which we're going to look at as well in this video, as well as looking at the Golf Sun numbers, so stay tuned. But I've got a mid-bounce wedge here, and I've got a pretty tight lie, as you can see, here on the third hole at Woolley Park Golf Club. It's a nice tight fairway, almost links like you could say, so I want to just open this face up and dink the ball up. I can have a really good go at playing this shot here. I've actually played that incredibly well, and it's hit the flag. You know, when you're trying to play like an okay example and you just go and play one like that, that was quite good. But now if I can change this to a low bounce sole, so I can open the club face up just a little bit more, I can have a little bit more versatility. So we now take that away. Oh no, I've lost the screws. Oh dear. And you can really start to see just how plain this wedge looks without any of the soles on there. That does say 60 because it is a 60-degree wedge, and you need to know what loft's on the head to match up the bounce. Now, if we were to replace that with an 8-degree bounce sole plate, that's going to allow me to have a little bit more versatility. Just like this. Now I should be able to play this shot with a little bit more ease. I can open this face up under the tight grass, just get a bit of loft to it and still work that bounce underneath the club. You can see that it's so much easier to get the ball to pop up in the air, and this is something which, if you practice it and have an array of shots or an arsenal of shots, a smorgasbord of shots with this wedge, you're never going to be caught out. You're never going to go to a golf course and think, oh no, how can I do that? How can I play that shot with this wedge I've got? That, go on then, go in, be good, Oh, it's lipped out, but that was better. It was a better pace than the first one, showing that that bounce was the better option. Yes. Oh, thank the Lord. Now, one thing that I think VEGA could have done here is maybe include some spare screws, because you get a lovely little pack, as I said, and then there's somewhere for that mid bounce to go when you're not using it. There's even somewhere for the Allen key to go there, but there's no spare screws. So if you do lose those, like I joked about, you might well be playing with no bounce at all, and we really don't want that. Fair to say as well, disclaimer, low bounce is a very difficult club to use. You have to be able to play this. I love how they've taken the weight out of there as well though, so it's not kind of changing the weight of the wedge. That is genius. That probably shows it better. Stroke of genius. Now, where else could this be useful, potentially? Hello. So if you play a golf course with nice, dry, puffy sand, obviously that will depend on the time of year again, then a low bounce wedge does make it a little bit easier to get the ball up and out. So I've got a 60 degree here. This is probably the hardest shot in golf that I've chosen. But you can see even here, guys, this wedge might have to go in my bag because that is a ridiculous shot. I might well leave this, no, I'm not going to, I'm going to try and hit you some more. But it does make it just that touch easier, guys, if you do struggle out of really dry, kind of grainy sand. I didn't even catch that one, and that one's gone to a couple of feet as well. Now, adversely, there are other setups which you can go. You can obviously go higher bounce. Oh my Lord, look at that. This is gorgeous. Honestly, I could stand here and play these shots all day. Look at that as well. So when would you go higher bounce? Higher bounce for me is generally known as the more forgiving bounce, the bounce which if you only had one wedge in your system, most people should probably go with. The reason for that is obviously it's just a little bit easier for the club to glide underneath the ball, and that is essentially what we all want to do. So now if I take out this low bounce option and we go with something, oh no, no. Has anybody got a magnet? I've got it. I've got it. Oh dear. That is stressful. Do not try this on a buggy or anywhere where you can lose it. But the high bounce option does actually click on really nicely there as well. Like, you don't have to hold it too firm to get the holes in line, which is really user friendly. Is just more forgiving. I'll show you some shots out of the deep rough, which is where we spend most of our time. More bounce can certainly help. As you can see, I've now got the high bounce option here, so you can see there's a much kind of, look how clean that is as well. They've done so well for that to meet and not have any kind of gaps or anything like that. Again, a little bit of weighting taken out there, but for me, I'm really hoping this does make sense to a lot of people. Now, this wedge isn't cheap, by the way. If you want one of these and you want the proper Shimada Tour Wedge 120 shaft in there, made in Japan, and all the adjustability that goes with this club, it's going to set you back top end of 300, 350 pounds. So obviously if you want 3 of these or even 2 of them, that's getting expensive. But, right, there are golf balls there, by the way. And you can see how that high bounce, I've hit that a little bit hard, but it was bang on line. It's just really helping the club glide through. Oh, not quite that one. That one was sat down quite a lot. Glide through this really thick grass, and anywhere where it's going to be quite moist underfoot, more bounce is going to help you. It's going to help get contact on board. It's going to help the club keep going. Wet sand, wet turf, pretty much apart from a water hazard. That's the one where it really helps you. That's really worked through there for me, and that one's running to like 4 feet. That out of here is a cheat code. This last one's really nestled down, so I'm just going to try and pop that out, carry the bunker. Oh, it's not. Guys, very difficult shots there to finish on. As you can see, I honestly think this could be a total... I have no idea what that noise was. I honestly think this could be a total game changer in the world of adjustability. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think to this brand new offering from VEGA. And apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.